Welcome to Robot Week. Let's get started.
Hey students, so for the next couple of weeks you are going to have a few lessons that are based on the same theme. We are going to be entering into our Robot Week. So we're going to be creating some robots out of items that you have around the house. So you should have all the things that we will be creating our robots with. If you don't, shoot me a message and I'll send you some ideas of what you could use instead of what I am using. So for our first lesson, all you need is a piece of paper and a pencil. For my background, I used markers with a paintbrush and water for a bleeding effect, which you will see at the end of the video. But if you do not have washable markers, then you can use crayons or anything that has a color. Or you could keep it black and white if you don't have any coloring tools. I also added handouts with idea sheets for your robots online so you could get some inspiration. I'm also looking at my idea sheet for ideas, and you can make your robot realistic, cartoonish, but the main thing that we are focusing on is making shapes and making forms. So my sixth graders should be familiar with our geometric shapes, but now we're taking those geometric shapes and we're making our own robot, which we're adding value with pencil to our robot to create a formed robot, a dimensional, three-dimensional robot with pencil and paper. So for your first step, all you need is a pencil, a piece of paper, and an eraser. Alrighty, so I am sitting here with my piece of paper, my pencil, my handout on my laptop because I didn't get to print it off, but you could just look at it on your tablet. And then of course I have my markers and my water cup with my paintbrush, which this is optional. You could just use colors for the background. You don't have to do the watercolor effect with your markers. So how I'm going to start my robot is picking the shape for its head. This could be any shape. This could be a square, this could be a circle. And as you can see, there's some ideas for your head shape on your robot. So I'm just going to start with a circle. Okay, and then like us, our robot should have ears and maybe something on top of their head, but that doesn't have to be true. But I'm going to give mine an antenna, maybe some square ears like bolts. As you move down to the body, it is the same way. So I'm going to do a triangle shape and give him or her some gears in the inside of her body, which are also on the idea sheet. So right now I'm just making my flat geometric shape. So these have no form yet. I'm also going to give her a face. Gonna move down to the arms, and I'm still continuing on my shapes. I have triangles, rectangles, just to create these little features for the hand. So it's not going to look like a person. It should be looking like a robot if you're using flat geometric shapes at this point. And I'm gonna give her some rolly legs. So I'm quickly drawing my robot. Obviously you can take your time. Now onto the shading part. When you shade, it is darker on the outside, and as you move to the inside of your robot, you should be lightening up your hand pressure and giving it a light value. So we're going from light or dark, medium to light. So on the outside of my robot, I'm going to do a very heavy pressure, and as I move towards the middle of my robot, I'm lightening up my pressure. Same with the other side. Dark, heavy pressure, medium pressure, light pressure, just like our geometric shapes that we have previously drawn in 6th grade. Okay, you're going to do that with every shape. So you're going to do that with the head, the arms, the legs. You probably don't have to do it with its features, But anything that has a large geometric shape, a flat one, you're going to now make that into a form by doing heaviest pressure, medium pressure to lightest pressure, and making it a value change with your pencil. Once you are done with that, you're going to work on your background. And it should take longer than I am taking on mine. I'm just doing it quick so you guys can work on your own robots. Okay. So now I'm going to take my markers, and if you're just using crayons, you can still do the same thing, just replace the markers with crayons. Now I'm just going to choose colors that I like. You don't have to choose any specific ones. When you draw your robot background, you are going to do lines that radiate from the middle of the robot. So they are all radiating from the middle of the robot, almost like he's being or she is being electrocuted, which I find kind of fun. So I'm starting at the middle of my robot right behind, and I'm just drawing lines, different types of lines out towards the edge of my paper. Now that I have my radiating lines, which I use zigzag, straight, curvy, swirled, that's up to you and your design. I'm going to take my water and my paintbrush, and you just quickly go over your lines, and you'll notice that they just naturally bleed on their own. By the way, I'm just using regular copy paper. Your paper doesn't need to be thick to do this. But if it is copy paper, I would just be careful on how much water you do add to your marker. I'm just going over it once and then moving on to the next line. Okay, once you're done.
Currently, this robot is a flat shape, so let's make it into a form. So we're going to make it fat by adding value. This robot is now a form because we added our value to our geometric shapes. We went dark value on the outside, lighten up our pressure till we got to a light value in the middle. I did this with every shape of our robot body. I cannot wait to see all the robots that you create this week. Don't forget to take a picture of your robot and enter it into your assignment on Google Classroom.